Welcome back, guys. Today we'll be talking about inequalities, understanding the symbols. This represents the greater than sign. This is the large side and this is the small side. This represents the lesser than sign. This represents a small, the opening represents a larger. If I have, this represents greater than or equal to. If I have, this represents lesser than or equal to. This is saying, remember I said this is a smaller side and this is a greater than sign. So this is saying 1 is smaller than 2, or I can read it like this to say 2 is greater than 1. This is saying -5 is greater than -7, or we can say -7 is less than -5. Having it like this, our interest is on x. What are the range of values of x? So we say x is greater than 1 is telling me that x is not one value, but is a range of values that are larger than 1. So if I have x is lesser than or equal to -3, if you realize what I'm saying, x is lesser than or equal to -3. This is asking for numbers that are smaller than -3, but not only smaller, we also want -3 because of this line that says equal to. Now, for these inequalities, let us discuss how we represent it on the number line. This is what is going to happen. This symbol, we usually have it as greater than. So say, for example, I have x is greater than 1. Remember, my whole point is to get numbers larger than 1. So on the number line, because it's strictly greater, it means I will have an unshaded circle on my number line. This means that I want numbers that are strictly larger than 1. So the unshaded circle means I'm not using 1. Drawing this line going to my right, it's telling me I'm covering the area larger than 1. So I'm going towards a positive infinity. So if I have x is lesser than 1, again, we'll have an open circle above the number 1, and we'll be going towards minus infinity on the number line. Let me do this using a number line. So say this is my number line, and I have the number 1. Above 1, I will have an open circle for x is greater than 1, and then I'll be moving towards positive infinity because greater than means I want numbers larger than 1. It's the same case for x less than 1. For x less than 1, let me just draw a rough, this is just a sketch of my number line, same number 1. Above 1, I'll have an open circle because I am not using the number 1, so that's why we have an open circle, and we will be moving towards negative infinity because I want numbers smaller than 1. If I have equal to, x is greater than or equal to 1, then this is scenario, I will have a shaded circle to mean that I am using the value 1 and I'm going towards positive infinity. So this first diagram, which represents x is greater than, I will now have a shaded circle at 1, and looking at this, I'm able to say that the shaded circle means I am using 1 and numbers larger. So if I have x is lesser than or equal to 1, again, I'll have a shaded circle, but in this case, I'm moving towards the negative infinity side. So we'll use a second number line where I'll shade this circle, and looking at it, I'm able to say that I'm using the number 1 and all the numbers that are smaller than 1. Now we have a case where we can have x lies between a range, say for example, so this is saying x is greater than -3 but less than 1, or some persons will say x is less than 1 but greater than -3. This is how we'll represent this on the number line. Because the two values are -3 and +1, both of them is strictly greater than and less than, I will have two open circles being connected by a line. So representing this on my number line, I will have -3 and +1, and because of the inequality is not including the numbers, both of the symbols will be unshaded to mean that we're not using these end values, and we connect them using a line. So this, my friend, represents x is greater than -3 but less than 1. Now suppose I have an equal to. Yes, this is what's going to happen. You shade the first one because the first one represents x is greater than or equal to -3. So it means we'll shade this one to represent what I am talking about. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe.